G'day and welcome to Off Grid Earth. It's been a long time since we've done one of these, but we're here to just have a bit of a walkthrough and talk a bit about our permaculture stuff that we've been doing. Can't say that we're super experts on it, but we've done a few things over here that you might be interested in. We're growing some cool veggies. It's actually finally started to dry out. We had like a year, 2 years of just wet. It's actually dropping the dams a little bit now. Things are browning off. It was high 30s today and it's late summer, and it looks like this Indian summer is going to continue into March. However, it's a good time to have a chat because we've changed the whole orchard here to include a chicken pen, and I wanted to just walk through that and show you some of the improvements that are going on with the plants. Started here though because have a look at these. This was a spontaneous pumpkin and watermelon patch that I just quickly dug out with the excavator after we built the chicken pen. Someone gave us a whole bunch of heirloom pumpkin seeds, and I didn't really have anywhere to put it. Everywhere else it's got Rhodes grass. If you have a look out here, it's all over. This is our main garden area. It used to be so amazing. Really want to scratch it back out of the grass and weeds eventually, but it's just full of kikuyu and full of Rhodes grass, and it's just so invasive. Over here I thought it's never had any Rhodes grass and it's never had any kikuyu, so it's all this native grass, which means that the pumpkins, when you water them, don't get totally overgrown by this massive grass and all these runners. It's worked really well. So a heap of I've just got some horse manure, and mixed it on the top of here, and I think we've done pretty well. There's about half a dozen or 8 sort of pretty good watermelons there. Come and check out these awesome pumpkins. It's like this one here. I've never seen one like this. This is like a Jap cut pumpkin, but like an albino Jap pumpkin. Doesn't have any colour on it. I think it's called a Waltram. These are called Waltram butternuts. These ones, I think. This one here is called a pear. These ones here are a long butternut. These ones are called a long butternut. Look how cool they are. And then this one here, that's a long butternut. Where's this one come from? Here, bronze old mini. They're all marked. And in the middle of there, we sort of threw in some ginger and some turmeric. And these trees here are mulberry trees that were like this high, that we found in like an old succulent pot that grew up out of seed, transplanted them in there, and that's what they've done in one season. They were this big. So they're going to be nice trees. But let's move on, because I know everyone's time poor, and if you're going to watch this, you're going to go, come on mate, get to the point. Let's check out what we've done here. So none of this was here a few months ago, and the chickens were running out of room, and we had turkeys everywhere, and it was crazy. So we, as pro shed salvagers, salvaged another shed. We're getting really good at it. We've done about 5. This cost me $300. It's a 6x3 shed, and it's getting a bit dark, probably the wrong time of day to do the video. Things are always spontaneous around here, but the chickens are good. They built a nest right here at the door. So this is nest boxes in there. They've got all their roosts, and it's like chicken and turkey city. Can't really see it. Probably need a bit more light, but in here at least, this is where the brooders are for the little chicks. And this is where we keep our seed and feed, and it's got a nice hard floor. So we paved the floor in here so it can be hosed and swept out, and it's supposed to be vermin proof. Of course, that's not really happening. I think vermin get in here. They're mongrel bloody things. Rats and mice. But it's proven to work in a really positive way. And the reason I haven't made this video earlier is because I wasn't really sure what was going to happen to my orchard trees. So this is the espalier orchard. We found a heap of mahogany logs, and I had this wire, and we put this project together and built this sort of chicken Taj Mahal. And let's come in quickly and have a look. Try to keep this to a minimum without having to edit. Alright, here you go. Chomp, chomp, chomp. So for instance, this is a really good producing mandarin. It's beautiful, beautiful mandarins, and it gets loaded, but it uses up a lot of resources to obviously produce that fruit. It was looking really, had that yellow look in the leaf, and it had striations in the leaf. I gave it a bit of iron chelate, and I gave it a bit of trace elements. But what happened was, all around the bottom of these trees were all mulch piles over the years that we built up. And the chickens have got in here, and they've scratched all that away. Come and have a look at how they've exposed some of the roots. Gone through some. It's one of the buckets of water, plus they've got a whole tank over there, and it was just high 30s today. See, they've scratched out, exposed all these roots. Come over and check this one out. That's a pear tree. This is a cherry tree. This was all mulch, which was all like composted mulch around here before, going right out. And they've got in underneath here, and they've scratched it all out. They scratched all the grass out as well. And one of the reasons I wanted to put the chicken pen in here was because we had kikuyu and buffalo starting to take over. It had managed to come in on seed or find a way to get in, and I was like, this is going to totally smother the orchard, because the orchard gets watered, and there's no way to really get it out. And we don't use poisons. You know, I don't want to put Roundup around things. So there was a whole section up there. Finally, it's starting to die off, and the runners have been all scratched out. Look, there's cooch here. That was buffalo, and there was kikuyu down here. You can see these runners. All right, it's killed it. So the chicken's walking on it. It's finishing it off, and I thought this, and I wasn't quite sure how the trees would respond. But from what I can see, they've actually responded really well with a bit of the rain that we've had. So there's that much manure going onto the top now that it's going to just build up such an amazing profile. And even though the roots are being exposed, they've got enough deep roots, I think, to survive this and thrive in this environment. So this cycle of being able to just not have to fertilize the plants, put nutrient into the ground using the chickens, anything that drops off, chickens can eat, they helping keep the fruit fly down. I mean, this is all just basic, principles that we weren't really employing. So come around here. Really sweaty afternoon. I reckon it's probably still 33 degrees at least. But beautiful, still pleasant. Now the other thing I wanted to show you is we built a while back, and it was on Insta, and we might have done a video, I'm not sure. We built this stand for the passion fruits, and I had passion fruits in other places, and I wanted to grow them so that the main trunk would get off the ground and you couldn't get weeds getting up in it and the vine getting too out of control. And this is exactly the structure that I wanted to create, and we built this before the chicken pen, but it's just working also beautifully now as a shade structure for the chickens and the turkeys when it's hot. And at the same time, I haven't had to fertilize this year. Right, so if you dug around here, look, there's a pumpkin that's they've found their way into the pumpkin that's grown through the fence. So that's the end of that pumpkin. It looks like a little alien head. Look at this. Normally I'd have to give it some fruit and flower. There's that many flowers on it. It's lush and green, and come and check out the size of these. I mean, this is phenomenal stuff. Look at this. Look at this. And that's weighty. That is full. That is full. All right, they're giant. I mean, they're called giant Panama, but they, come under here and have a look and go under the avenue. This is what's really cool about this. Again, probably did it too late in the day to get the best light, but the idea was that you'd walk along and they'd all hang through. Well, they're so big that they sit up on top of the wire. But look here. So these are all going to ripen. They're all green and they're camouflage, but they're all along. Some giant ones down in here, up in here. And then look how dark it is. So this is the water tank, so it keeps the water nice and cool. And in these really stinking hot days, they all came in and under here, and this is a good place for them to keep cool. Really happy. So ran out of storage on the phone, and it just so happens to be 1 month later. It's a lot cooler, everything's more overgrown, and I'm just wearing the same outfit just to trick you all, you know, continuity and all. But here we are, back underneath the passion fruit vine. A little bit more light here at the moment, and you can see all this is just covered in, a big couple out here, they're perfect, ready to go. Let's have a look. Knife I prepared earlier. Let's go at this. Oh, look at that. Absolutely lush. So good. So just straight out of there on ice cream, fruit salad, passion fruit butter, whatever you want to do. But yeah, the whole point of this was that these vines and the orchard are being lifted up by having the chickens and the turkeys in here doing all these permaculture benefits that we should have been employing a long time ago. Let's just quickly duck out here before we wrap up, and I just want to show you just how vigorous this thing is. I mean, it's now crawled out onto the roof of the chicken pen. It's onto the wire, and it's, we're going to have to keep it under control because it's going to get right along this wire and spill out onto the rest of the trees out here. Now we're just going to take a wee little break. The triffids. Look at this. Look at how I was smart enough to bring a knife, but I wasn't smart enough to bring a spoon. But there's so much. It's probably like 3 normal passion fruits in there. So let's go and have a look. It's the right time now. These watermelons, they're just the die for. They're honestly the best watermelons I've ever had. Let's go and cut one open fresh off the vine. Okay, we're back out at the watermelons. Big storm brewing behind us, coming in off the coast. It's always good. Make sure we keep the rain on the grass. Now come down and listen to this. Sounds pretty hollow. That's beautifully ready. But this is a pretty chunky one, so we might give this one away. One of the kids has got an excursion coming up. We might give it to the school for the kids. This one, not quite as hollow. This one's got a bit of sun on the top of it, and well, that's pretty hollow sounding, isn't it? I think this one. Let's have a crack here. All right. Thank you for your production there, Mr. Watermelon Plant. This is Watermelon Plant. Let's check it out. Look at that. And the good thing about this watermelon that we've been getting off here, unlike the stuff you buy in the shops, and I don't know why, everything's always so good off your own farm. Of course, it's when it's fresh, but we cut watermelon, ate it a week later, and it's still better. The most amazing thing about this is that it's watermelon. There's that much water in it, but it is sweet like I've never had before. Normally you get them and they're like watery and they're bland. This isn't like that. It's just so luscious. So look, permaculture, growing your own. Wonderful. Wonderful, and we appreciate it every day. I can only encourage everyone to do the same. It's the best. Anyway, that's our little tour. It's been a while coming. Might try to be a little bit more active with videos of various descriptions. And over and out from Off Grid Earth. G'day everybody, welcome back after a long sabbatical to Off-Grid Earth. It was just dagging about in the yard and I thought it's time to do a video. Because you might remember we put a little post up sometime around spring last year, maybe October, of our little passion fruit trellis. Well, here it is in all its glory. We put in 2 giant Panama reds and 2 giant Panama yellows, and even though we had like hundreds and hundreds of flowers, we had rain and all sorts of things, and we had red ants. I'm not sure exactly why, but they didn't pollinate that well. I think I discovered that you needed a normal passion fruit to help pollinate, which we have over there. In the end, I think we've ended up with about 3 dozen giant, like mini watermelon sized passion fruits. I mean, look at these things. And they're like really heavy. Like, so it's gonna be like a meal, you know. Talk about dessert, like passion fruit on ice cream. So this was how I envisaged these growing here, and so you could walk along and harvest your passion fruit. I just imagined like quite a few more, but I think we did all right. Come and have a squiz. There's ones out the side here, sections here where we've got sort of 3. There's over here another vine with 3 or 4. So unfortunately, we're probably not going to get to eat them. And our house sitter said that he didn't really like passion fruits. He's not much into it. So, but inside 3 weeks before we hop back on the road. And the farm's had heaps of projects. We've been so busy and just haven't had the appetite to be on socials. Haven't looked for about 3 or 4 months, and it's been probably a pretty good break. But we probably pick things up now again as we start traveling. But just wanted to show off passion fruits. Come and check out my dragon fruit. This was given to me by a mate of mine who went back to Canada, and yeah, it's grown up really well. It was all latched on and a big wind blew it off, so I had to sort of tape it back up. But that's climbing on, and hopefully it'll do its thing. I might have to clear a bit of space. The passion fruit's taken over a little bit. And then look at the lemonade lemon. If you've never had a lemonade lemon, you can just eat them straight off there, and they're sort of sweet and tart, but they're more sweet. They're really, really nice. Great fruit, but this is where it's really at this time of year. The citrus are one of the hardest things to grow up here, but they're the most rewarding because the satin bowerbirds don't get them. They get everything else. The fruit fly doesn't get them, and their continuous harvest over could be quite a number of months. They've got navel oranges there, which are just about coming on. The imperials here, these are only relatively little plants, but we just come out here and grab the most beautiful sweet fruit. So they just need about another week or so. We've been stealing them off there. But they are just getting to that right level. That's an imperial. Pretty sure this is a Murcott, I think. Or it might be another imperial, and I think this one's called a clementine. But this one here is amazing. These are like oranges. And again, little plant. In here, and I've already been, you can see I've been out here devouring, the kids come out here as well, but it's just loaded with the most gorgeous fruit. And I'm talking seriously, look at these clumps. Look at the size of them. Non-sprayed, fully organic. And let's pick one here. Let's get a nice dark one. There we are. That's looking all right. It's a bit, see if we can feel a little bit of softness. Softness, no green. What do you reckon? I reckon we have a crack at this one. Oh yeah. No smell-o-vision. Now this is the way to eat fruit. Absolutely delish. And it could probably handle another week or so. Get a bit of that white stuff off. Another week or so, and it won't have any hint of tart, but we'll see, because I've already been taking them for a week. If you get the right one. Oh, so good, so good. Would the cameraman like? I'll get the skin. I'll get that little bit of white stuff off because I know the kangaroo doesn't like it. So there's just so many projects going on the farm. We're going to share some stuff that's been happening in the lead up to when we're going away, and then there's more stuff to share about going away. And yeah, it's all really exciting. It's all really tiring and exhausting, and we've been tired and exhausted for ages, it seems, and about to hop on the road. And that's, anyone who's a traveller knows that it's not really a holiday. It's just, but you just got to make it work. We've only got one life. We've got to make the most of it. What else have we got going? Oh, come and have a look. See if the guavas are going. I can hear a satin bowerbird. I'm sure it's over here smashing the guavas. And the autumn colours and the spring colours. Look, it rained and then we had an Indian summer, and the poor peaches thought it was spring. Shot out some flowers, but that's soon going to get shut down. All this needs to be pruned. Bit of colour in the pomegranates over there. I made no effort to dress up, shave, probably got gunk on my face, who knows. What better way to say hi again after so many months? I love you all. The drought hammered these, as it did many things, but did mulch it up, clear out the kikuyu, and yeah, look, these are coming on again. These are another thing that's just amazing through this time of the year. Tropical guava, because they continuously fruit, and whatever the satin bowerbirds don't get, you've got to remember that. Oh, here's one. That's pretty ripe. Let's have a go. You've got to remember the satin bowerbirds weren't here when we first got here, so we used to go and pick ripe, big juicy nectarines and all this sort of stuff. It was amazing, and now you got to put a fortress around it. Let's have a look at these. This is no fruit fly, perfecto mundo. Absolutely lush. You can eat the skin on these too. Skin's not too bad. Fruit salad in the garden. You could probably keep finding more, but that'll do. I've shown off enough. Proud of my garden. Proud of my solar. Proud of my mountain. Proud of my missus. Alright. We're going to be back in the next few weeks. Over and out from Off Grid Earth. Little addendum. Thought I was finished, but then I realised I brought out my first finger lime ever. And then as I was wandering over to the finger lime, I just saw this awesome contrast on pomegranate as the pomegranate starts to lose its leaves. How cool is that? We've taken off a few pomegranates. There's a few gone to the ground. There's a couple left, but loving the pomegranate. Over here is the finger lime, which is eked out in existence. And this was, I've been watching it. And the other day it finally dropped off. Let's check out. Oh, maybe not. I thought it was just going to split, but it's not going to split. I'm making a mess of it. Live TV, folks. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh. Oh my goodness. Talk about flavour explosion. I mean, nature's original popping candy. How cool is that? Anyway, very proud of that, and hopefully nurse this little shrub in to give us a few more of these over the next few years, and I'd like to plant some more too. So anyway, that's the end of the yabba yabba. Over and out.